doing live readings. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for sharing time and space with me and giving me your attention, clicking on this video. Also for those that like, those that comment, and those that have been booking with me. Today, there. Sorry, I think I knew I forgot something. Anyway, I want to thank you all. Today we're going to be doing just the typical live readings. I should be going live maybe soon. I don't know. Like for all signs, I'm not really sure. Energy has been difficult lately since Earth is ascending. I am ascending. I do want to thank everyone for being here. I do apologize for anyone who is ascending. It sucks, right? Anyway, but yeah. If you want to book on my Calendly, if not, if you're just here to watch, to listen, I actually commend you. There's a ton of information that comes through for these. Anyway, hold on one second, everyone. I'm gonna open up my Calendly. Oh, that's beautiful. Anyway, okay. I am offering healings as well, and live readings, private readings, as well as same day readings. If you are interested in booking any of those things, do feel free. Anyway, I'm gonna ground myself and then I'm going to start the readings. If you're interested, do book on my Calendly. Yes, sorry about repeating myself. Anyway, I'm just grounding now. Okay, I'm gonna actually. Angels, ancestors, and guides, please protect me, keep me safe, and watch over me. I ask to cleanse and clear space of any entities and energies and foreign objects and foreign people from me and my property and my energy field. Thank you. Ooh, okay, I think I'm ready. I'm actually gonna go get water really quickly. I'll be right back, everyone. So give me just a moment. Sorry about that. I really want water. Just in case. Anyway, okay. So our very first person that we're going to have is going to be Marion. So let's take a look here. By the way, hi, Sleep Vibes. I do appreciate you. Marion. I do not, but give me a moment. You can email me. Megan, I will take a look at it. Anyway, Marion, I'm starting reading at 4. Sub T. Okay. Okay. So you have Marion Giorgio. Hello. I hope this finds you well. My question is that what are the positive things to come for me over the next 6 months? And you have a next question is, I have been in extreme isolation with self-introspection and shadow work because I was very toxic last year and hurt an important connection. Very interesting. One thing that's coming through from Buddha is it's like a very important time for you, right? That deep introspectiveness. One thing that he is saying is for you to start to incorporate a little bit more. I want to say is what's it called? Incorporate more into your life is walks and nature, and connecting more with that. It's very important. I definitely, and this is coming through from the great divine director. You want to make sure that you're bringing in more light into your life, right? More light into yourself. And one thing that Earth and people of Earth, and I even want to say light workers and everyone's learning to do more of is putting more light into self, right? When we channel light, right, that increases our vibration. That makes us feel lighter because we actually are lighter, right? Hello, but it's important that you start to incorporate like activities that help you feel lighter, help you bring in more light. I definitely feel nature really being key for you. Trees, grass, that sort of thing. I know that it's turning into fall, and one thing that is coming through from Buddha. That's actually a great time to do it because I feel a lot of when they're like life is light, right? I actually think that's true. I don't know. Anyway, but how he's showing it to me is like I see all these leaves. When that fall season when leaves start to like disintegrate, it's like you're releasing light, right? Now's a good time for you to take those walks. Is what I want to say. Anyway, let's take a look here. So, what positive things are coming towards Marion over the next 6 months? Let's take a look. Queen of Cups here. I definitely feel like you're going to be healing things with your mom, or healing within self. But this feels like lineage stuff, right? I feel like you're going to be healing stuff with your family, right? With your loved ones. But I also want to say self-love. I don't know if you struggle with money or monetary gain, but I feel like you're going to heal whatever blocks you from financial success. And whatever that is, it's hard to say exactly what your issues are when it comes to financial success. I feel like it may to do with your mom or living mindsets, but one thing that's coming through from Buddha is how you feel about money is a big reason why you're struggling to make it. All right, with the Seven of Cups coming through as well, I actually see love really being important for you, right, over the next 6 months. I see you actually having a relationship and being in a relationship with someone. It does feel, though, with the star in its reverse, we don't necessarily know, right, about everything that's going to happen to us, right? But how Buddha is phrasing it is, I feel like if you did know that this love was coming, you wouldn't heal as much, or you may be too distracted and preoccupied. One thing that I want to tell you is that the reason why you don't really see the good things coming, or you don't feel like a lot of good things are coming towards you right now, is because the introspective work has to be your priority, right? I know it's crazy, and I feel like I've actually given this question to you or given this message to you before, but I have really strong visions. So if it wasn't a vision, I do apologize. I don't know. I don't think people know about that. But anyway, but I feel here, you focusing on the work is more important than you knowing what's coming, right? And that's why you don't necessarily know what's coming, because I think it will distract you. Think of it like you have like, I know it's an odd thing to say, but let's say you're in school and it's like summer next month, right? And all you can think of all the fun things you can do next in the summer, but you have finals right now. Are you going to be able to focus on your finals that much? No, not really, right? You're going to be too distracted thinking about what comes after those finals for you to focus on your finals and get a good grade. And message to you is, I feel like you're having some kind of an experience like that where you're learning to you're being distracted or being I want to say foretold about the future isn't going to help you with what you're dealing with in your present moment right now. But I do see good stuff, right? I can see really good stuff. With the oppression in its reverse, I feel like you're going to overcome some kind of hard cycle that you're in, some kind of healing cycle that you're in, and you're going to feel a lot more lifted. But it doesn't serve you to know that, right? What serves you is you focusing on this and seeing nothing else, right? Knowing that it's almost like knowing nothing else is out there, because the whole point is that you focus on this work, right? Let's take a look here. Is anything else? We have the Sun reverse again. Sun's the happiest card in the tarot deck. I almost choked. It's the happiest card in the tarot deck, right? But in reverse, you can't see that happiness. Why? You're not meant to right now. I want to throw this at you, and I know because I'm in one of the healing cycles. I don't actually do these often. Maybe every 7 years or something. I don't know. But I know that when our vibration is too high, we tend to not focus on the things we need to focus on, or we tend not to be able to see the things that we need to heal. I feel like your vibration is exactly where it needs to be, even though it doesn't feel that great, because right, you're able to see things from this perspective that you couldn't see from another. My message right now is that you don't really have to plant anything, right? You don't even have to do anything. The good stuff's coming, right? But I feel like your focus needs to be on what's right in front of you, not the future, right? Live in the nowness of things, right? Live in the now, and you're gonna make it to. I feel the good stuff sooner than you think. Anyway, let's take a look here. I have had extreme isolation with self introspective shadow work because I feel I was very toxic last year and hurt an important connection. The spirits see how hard I've been working on myself and how much I really desire to be a different person than I was before. We have the fertility coming out for that question. I want to say yes to this, but one thing that's coming to you from spirit is you shouldn't care what spirit thinks about you, right? And you shouldn't care how spirit sees you as well. The only thing that matters is, are you happy with being who you are? And are you happy with the person that you're becoming? And one thing that I really do want to emphasize, this came through like yesterday. It's not about where we've come from, it's about where we're going, right? That matters more, right? That's everything. My message to you, are you happy with where your life is headed? I feel that too much, right? Let's fix that, right? Are you happy with the person that you're transitioning into, you're transforming into? And if you're not, then become that person. One thing that's coming to you from your records is for you to write down little things that make you feel good, right? Or things that you aspire to be. You know, when you meet someone for the very first time, they ask you, tell me about yourself, right? You don't tell them who you are. You tell them who you aspire to be, right? Because that's who you're becoming. My message to you is, I feel you want to make sure that you have a thorough understanding about the person that you want to be, and you're going to be happy with that. But spirit is not the point, right? What spirit thinks about you, what the light thinks about you, what your friends think about you, what your family thinks about you, it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter at all, right? The only thing that matters is, are you happy with being who you are, with the person that you're becoming? And that is where you're going to find your fulfillment. We don't come here to make other people happy. Okay? We come here to make ourselves happy. What is going to make you happy? It's not pleasing spirit, right? Fuck spirit is what I want to say. And I really do want to say that. Fuck spirit, right? What makes you happy? And this is where you're going to find that happiness that you seek. I feel like it's the missing piece right now. And this is your inner child, right? You know, our inner child wants to be who it wants to be. And it doesn't necessarily look at how other people perceive it. Let's say your inner child is very, wants to be like a tomboy, for instance, right? Just saying, right? Or loves sports, but society says, oh, you shouldn't be playing sports, right? My message to you is, are you gonna let them stop you, right? No, please, make yourself happy, right? They're always gonna judge you. They're always gonna think very little of you. It's not the point. They're not the point. Everyone else is not the point, right? I think what you're learning in this cycle that you're in is you are, right? And how you feel about you is the point, right? And the message is for you to make sure you're focusing on making that part of you or yourself happy rather than everyone else around you, all right? With the Two of Wands coming through. I see right now, like, you're not quite sure, right, about who you're becoming. The way that the records are saying is this is linked to your purpose, right? You don't know what your purpose is. I remember when I did this, when I was, it was before I came to life, right? You know, before we landed here on Earth and all that stuff. Before we were, before I was born, right? You know, before you incarnate. I remember I set everything up, right? And they asked me, like, it was a really important question, like, what do you want, right? I want to help people, right? That's actually my purpose, right? I feel like my message to you is that you set yourself up real nicely. You want to set yourself real nicely. What makes you happy? Does it, serving people make you happy, or maybe making a lot of money make you happy, right? These are things you really want to think about, right? When it comes to choosing what's next for you, all right? We have the Queen of Pentacles coming through and the Five of Cups. You know, your mom lived her life for others. She did not find that actually that great, right? One thing that I can say is that it may have brought less conflict into her life, right? but it didn't make her happy. My message is I feel like you're carrying some of that energy, right? I think your mama, she really did it. She really made everyone else happy, right? And I feel like you're in that same boat. With the Princess of Cups in its reverse here, I also feel here that your inner child needs some healing, needs some tending to as well. The way that, sorry, I want to say Spirit said, think of your inner child like a new plant or a plant, right? A plant needs water, right? It needs constant attention, it needs sunlight, and it has all these needs, right? I feel like your inner child has all these needs, and none of them are being met, or not all of them are being met, or not being fully fulfilled. Focus on that. With the Emperor coming through as well, this is coming through from I feel like your questions about love, or your I actually don't think you have a question about love, but I feel like this is something that we often think about. I feel like you have a limiting belief that tells you that someone's going to come in and save you. We save ourselves, all right? Just something to think about. Anyway, but with the Six of Pentacles for your overall energy, or overall, message, give to you, right? One thing, and it's such an odd thing, it's kind of reminding me of some visions I had as a child. You really want to make sure that you're giving to you more than you're giving to others, because we came to give to ourselves, right? That, I message you as I feel like you may be overgiving to other people, or overgiving to other people's like perceptions of you. Give to your perception of you, or give to yourself, right? Rather than everyone else, and you're gonna be just fine. All right. I hope that makes sense. I know it does. It's actually a really nice reading. Anyway. Sorry. Oh, thank you, Megan. Let me take a look here. Hi, Megan, do you have a question? You can write. I can take you next. I do apologize. I don't know if I've done your reading yet. I don't actually, but it's perfectly okay. Megan, I'm starting your reading at 16 minutes. Okay. But my message to you, Marion, is it doesn't matter, right? If they think you're working hard enough or not, right? How do you feel, right? How do you feel about who you are and the person you're becoming, right? And this is such an important thing. It's such a funny thing. I swear I've given you this message before, but please provide any clarity about my clarity or advice about my life. Interesting. Let's take a look here. Let's see what we're working with for Megan. Megan. Let's see, any clarity for Megan. We have the Knight of Swords coming through. I feel like your brother is really key for you to have insights and awareness about your life, or you know how sometimes we have siblings that can see us really easily, right? Or people in our life that can see what we're missing. I feel like your brother actually has a lot of insights about why you may feel stuck, or what will help you move forward. One thing I can tell you is you are surrounded by the light, right? I feel like you're surrounded by loved ones. I feel like you have so much support, so much protection, so much love. And maybe opening up that door, that can of worms to your brother, say, oh, I feel stuck in life, or this is happening to me. What do you say about that? Or do you have any insights, or what do you think I should know about that? I don't know. It's such an odd thing to say, but how it's coming through from my guides, or the guides, right? Is that your brother is the one who's going to help you move through the stuckness that you're moving through. I would, maybe it's a man, but I get brother. So I want to make that clear. Whoever feels like that, whoever rings true for that brother statement, that's the one that's going to be for you, okay? We also have the Nine of Swords coming through. With the Nine of Swords being here, it's funny, this came through from him, your brother. He's saying that attachment to, oh, I have sisters, that may not resonate with me. That's part of the problem. I know it's crazy to say, and I know that on some level, because I can feel it, you understand what I'm saying when we attach ourselves. Oh, they have sisters, right? Do you, right? A message to you is to look a little bit deeper at that. I feel like your brother, right? And it really is emphasizing your brother is the one who's going to help you with that. But the Nine of Swords coming through as well. I feel like your dreams are very key. One thing that has helped me through this very difficult period that a lot of people are in, with that Nine of Swords being here, is that I set like dreams with purpose, right? When I dream, I'm like, I'm gonna tackle this tonight. or I want more insights and clarity into this, right? So if you feel stuck, ask your dream self, right? Or your night self, or ask dream self, which is coming through from dream. He's saying for you to ask what's keeping me stuck, and you're going to move through the stuckness, right? Or understand, right, what's making you stuck. We have here your father as well. Um, I feel like your family has been withholding some of the information that you need. Maybe I don't know. I almost want to say like maybe they know more than they think they know, or you think they know. And we have the Knight of Cups coming through. Sorry, Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. One thing that's coming through from Spirit is that you are making progress, and this progress that you're making is about 1 to 2 year journey, right? It's very difficult. It's very hard. You were never going to make it overnight. I feel like you're going through a tough cycle or a tough period or a feeling of how I'm seeing it. Do you know when there's like this earthquake? This earthquake and you're trapped under rubble. Sorry, it's such a beautiful thing. I'm getting this is real nice anyway, but you have to sit and wait while for rescue. I feel like this is kind of what's happening. We are multidimensional, and I don't know how much of this you're gonna take in, but I feel like a part of you is in a scenario just like that, right? I feel like you are trapped under rubble, in one of your multi-dimensional selves, and it kind of leaves you a little bit stuck in the physical, right? And sorry, it came through. Actually, I feel like that's actually true for you. You're just stuck a little bit. Wait for rescue. One thing that's coming through is to ask for it, right? Call out. Anyway, sorry. We have the Five of Cups coming through as well when it's reversed. Don't focus on what you're losing. Don't focus on the negative. Don't focus on any of that. Let's say you only have enough energy to watch TV, which has been my thing. Then just watch some TV, right? Let go of the rest. And I know that it's crazy. One thing that's coming through from Buddha, it's also coming through from, I want to say the guides. You may have all these pressure from these bills, and you're like, I don't know what to do. Let go of that. As crazy as it sounds, our life or bills or just like, I don't know, the things that we think matter, they don't really matter to us, right? They matter to like the shell, or they matter to this incarnation, right? I know it's a crazy thing to say. It feels very, it's a very spiritual message, but focus focus on tending to you, right? Not so much on trying to make progress and move forward. All right, we have beginnings reverse as well. There will be a new path. I remember a long time ago. It was before I was born. Right. I came from deep undersea, and I went to the very top of the surface, and I became, I guess, a human. I know it sounds crazy, but it is what happened anyway. But I know it's so crazy to say, but it was like that you have to wait for that moment, right? That time. And I messaged you. I feel like you're in like limbo, right? A little bit, and we all hit it every now and then. Actually, we all hit it, right? We have the Six of Wands coming through. We have the Five of Wands as well coming through, and it also came out with the Ten of Cups. Just like Marion, make yourself happy, right? Do things that make you happy. I know it's crazy to say, but like, let's say you have like a pattern, and like, oh, I always get coffee, and I'm real good. I don't get the pumpkin spice. Make yourself happy, even if it's something out of character, or even if it's something that may feel like you're not taking care of yourself. I know it's a crazy thing to say. It's almost like make your inner child happy. Okay? I've been having a lot of donuts lately, a lot of pumpkin spice, all those things. My message to you with the judgment here is that you're going through a rebirth. These things do take time, right? But my message to you is to what could you do in the meantime to make yourself happy or to raise your vibration. And I feel like it's about you doing and giving to yourself. All right, so I hope that makes sense to you. Any other messages about the general advice for Megan and their life? We have attuned to the divine. It's new moon in Pisces. New moon's all about fresh starts, right? Right now, it's time for you to tune this to your inner divine or your divine guidance. She's saying divine herself, right? I think I was actually talking to divine earlier, or at least I said something to divine anyway. I wasn't talking, but divine is replying to me right now anyway. But my message to you is I feel here with that new moon in Pisces. New moon's all about new beginnings. tune more into divine, right? The energy of divine kind of reminds you of Rumi. You know, Rumi is all about that divine energy. And Rumi has a quote, and I was thinking of the quote. That's actually why what I want to tell you, Megan. You know, hand over your problems to divine. Literally, do it, right? And see what divine does, or see what divine makes of it, and you will see just how powerful divine is in the end, right? My message to you is, I feel like you have all these problems in your life right now, and you're wondering who to turn to, or who can help you with this. Give them to divine, and you're going to see the change in your life. Okay. We also have Know Your Worth, new moon, again, a second new moon, and Taurus. My message to you with this card, don't settle. Okay? One thing that is coming through very clearly for a lot of people, especially for people who are moving through these energies, or I want to say the ascension process, or the ascension energies that we're moving through, is we're being asked to take less or settle for what's being offered. And this is coming through from divine, right? You're a divine perfect, right? You're not meant to settle. We have reveal what needs to be seen. We have the last quarter moon is Scorpio. Whatever cycle you're in, you're almost done. And I really do want to emphasize this. You don't have to worry too much about taking less, or let's say all my life I've always given up everything and I've taken so little. Okay? My message to you is that things will resolve themselves at the end of this chapter. Right? I know it's crazy to say, but Divine's saying that this is fine to say. Right? I feel like there's a lot of lower forces that try to take from us, right? Try to take from the light, try to take from people who are trying to do good, right? And you know, that won't be the case this time, right? We won't settle for less this time. And I know it's crazy to say, but I feel like a part of you knows what I mean. I feel like a part of you knows what I mean. But again, hand these problems to divine, right? Give them to divine. Let's see what divine does. I did it earlier, I think. Anyway, I hope that makes sense to you. Sorry, Megan. Yeah. Divine is saying yes to that. That's exactly where your life is supposed to be. Don't don't stress too much, okay? Let's take a look here. Is there anything else? By the way, if you want to book with me, please book on my Calendly. And push through any blocks or restrictions. I know, so crazy to say. Let's see. We have the Eight of Cups for you, Megan. This is I'm going to do 2 more cards. We have Sacrifice reversed here. I feel what a lot of people have to do to move through the energies that they're moving through. I really do want to emphasize this. You truly have to move through all of that heaviness, right? Let's say you're like your entire life, right? You had issues with self-worth, for instance, right? Just as a random thing. You never felt worthy. That's actually what she's saying. You want to heal that now, right? You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. It's like this is the one you want to do, right? My message to you is, what themes have been in your life for years, or 2 years is what she's saying, that you've always struggled with. Let's face that now. And when we do, right, when you fight for more, you're going to get more. This is coming through from Gem Goddess. I don't know if you know her channel. Sorry, she's here. She's saying that you're meant to fight for more. It's almost like you're in this little this little piece of land right here, and you're being asked to fight for a little bit more, even if it's just an inch. It's more than you had before. And I message to you right now, Megan, it's for you not to stop fighting for self, even if it feels like you're only fighting for just a little bit more. I found strength, right? And for the last 8 months, I felt helpless, right? I felt hopeless. I felt like I had no energy to fight. Right? And all of a sudden I started fighting, and I found more, right? A message to you: start fighting, and that strength will be there before you know it, right? The way that Rumi, I think it is Rumi, he's putting it, it's almost like you have let's say you're out of fighter energy, right? You're out of it completely, and then you still got up and you fought hard, right? It's almost like it would appear magically, or it would be there, right? Because you fought hard for it. I know it's so crazy to say, but on some level, I know you get this on the subconscious level, but it's like it's there. I feel like you're meant to fight for more. And one thing that's coming through from your family, I want to say from the cycle that you're in, is they're not going to let this end if you've not fought for enough. So fight with all you got, all right? And we have that transformation. This is what you're going through. You're meant to leave the lack behind, by the way. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but it's true. You're meant to leave the lack behind. What do you need to fight to do that, right? What do you need to close to do that? And that's the point, okay? Let's see. Hi, Supernova. Um, Hi, Sky. Let me see. Make sure everything's okay, and you can book. Oopsie. That is not quite. Oh, I put the wrong thing. There. This should. I had the wrong thing up. I do apologize. There. Okay. So we have Martha Dean next. Martha Dean. 30 minutes. Okay, good. Sorry, I just wanted to double check that. Sorry, I do apologize. Anyway, okay. So answers the guides. We have a general reading for Martha. This thing. Let's take a look here. A general reading for Martha. Martha Dean. So let's look at the energy surrounding Martha Dean's life and the center. I want to say general. Let's say general. I feel like it's very broad, and I actually do like that. Kind of like when you get a blind reading. It's kind of like one of those. Anyway, so let's take a look here for Martha. General reading for Martha. Let's take a look here. We have believe in your good luck. Interesting. I feel like good stuff's happening to you, right? A lot of good stuff's happening to you, or a lot of good stuff should be happening to you, especially with that Sagittarius energy right here. This is going to be the first quarter moon of Sagittarius. One thing I can feel, and this is coming through from your lifeline, right, from your records. I feel like you are in a cycle right now that feels like things are lining up, or things look like they are. I feel like you have 1 or 2 more quarters of a full moon where it's going to feel like it's not quite lining up for me, or things are not working out as good or as best as I thought they would. One thing that's coming to you from divine, right, is for you not to look too deeply at that. Right? It's not about how things look in the present moment, right? It's not about that, right? It's sometimes we just have to move to those heavy energies to get to our happy ending, right? And my message to you is, I feel like you are, you have all these good things happening to you. I definitely feel like a sun coming through, but I feel like you're gonna go through like a quarter of a heavy cycle, or a quarter of heavy energies. You're gonna be just okay with that. And I've healed what you're healing, what you're moving through. I've done a while ago when I was little, and I remember I just knew in my heart that it would pass, right? And I knew, I think I just knew it. And the message to you is, you're going to have that same epiphany. You're going to have that same realization. You're going to have that same inkling, right? It's sure shit may be hitting the fan, right? Sure, right? But it's not going to always be that way. And the message to you is for you not to look too deeply at, like, oh, this happened to you. You should, like, I don't know. Let's say you had a flood in your house, right? Actually, I'm actually having one here, but let's say you have a flood in your house, right? Oh, is the world against me? No, like, that's crazy. My message to you is for you not to look too deeply at this. Like, oh, this is just a thing that's happening, right? It's all you need, right? Reflect on your priorities. Keep your mind on the ball. And this is the last quarter moon. Again, in the last quarter, you're going to understand why that happened, why you moved to those things, and the fact that your life is actually in a much better place than you think it is. And one thing I want to say is that you are surrounded by the light, and you are surrounded by beings of light, right? We have full moon in Aries. Cool your emotions. Again, how can you bring calm in a storm? Right? How can you bring calm when life is throwing you curveballs, or life is throwing you, I want to say, a shitstorm? All right. How can you find calm in these at these times, right? With the full moon in Aries, use that Aries energy. One thing that's coming through, I even want to say from Aries, sorry, it's a woman. She's saying, you know, when life's throwing shit at you, don't give in to the shit, right? You know, stay strong. That your life's gonna work out for you, or things are gonna be best for you, or things are going to you're gonna end you're gonna have happiness in the end, right? I hope that makes sense to you. Like, let's say you just have like life just throwing shit at you, like boom, and it's like I don't care what life throws at me. I'm going to be happy, right? I'm going to move towards my happiness, and I'm going to move towards my fulfillment. It feels like that energy is the energy you want to cultivate, right? It's the energy that you want to tap into. And this is coming to you from divine, is for you to tap into this energy, this headstrong, stubborn part of yourself, right? That doesn't give an F about how much crap life throws at you, and still moves towards what makes them happy, and leaves the past behind. With the last quarter moon in Capricorn, I messaged you with this last quarter moon here, is that this is probably one of the last tough cycles you're going to be dealing with before you start to have better things. One thing that's coming through from Rumi, it's not like this is the only crap that life throws at you. It's you know, everyone falls. And I feel like this is going to be the last time that you struggle to get up, or the last time that you let the struggle get to you, or you let the pain get to you, right? Or maybe the last time you forget what the love means. It feels like you are you're at the I don't know, at the end of it. I remember when I was really little and I was healing these things. It was just like crap after crap. I'm like, oh, it's like it's constant, right? It really is nonstop at times. But my message to you, Martha, is that you, when you've seen like, okay, life happens this way, then I end and it happens great. You stop worrying when life gets bad, or you stop worrying when life is a struggle, right? I feel like you're going to hit that point soon, right? And this is coming through from Rumi, is that we see it from start, middle, end, right? You see it enough times, you realize life always works out. Does that make sense, right? You don't need it. You don't need to see it every time, right? Actually, you will see it every time, but you know what I mean. Like, you don't need to remind yourself every time, but eventually you're gonna know that to be true. And this is a fact coming from universe. Life always works out. It always has. It always will, and there's no stopping that. My message to you is, I feel like we sometimes forget that when life is throwing all these curveballs at us, and we need to always tap in and remember that this is the point. This is what your message is about. Okay, always remembering that it's going to work out for you, right? And this is going to be full moon of Sagittarius. See the bigger picture. This is the whole point, right? It's not about looking at those little itty bitty details about life effing up, right? Or things not working out in our favor, right? In the bigger picture, things are always working out for us. Things always lead to harmony, right? This is alchemy at its finest, right? Chaos always moves to harmony. It's actually the will of the universe, right? Is that it always moves to harmony. I don't know what to say about that, right? Every single time. My message to you is, I feel you're not going to question that anymore after this tough cycle that you're in. You're not going to struggle with that understanding anymore, because you're going to see the bigger picture, and you're going to keep your emotions cool when life is heating up, all right? And you're going to move through these emotions really quickly, really nicely. And again, I remember when I was a child, I dealt with this, and they said, oh, it's going to work out no matter what. You know, I had a choice in that moment to either believe them or say no, right? You're effing kidding. I believe them. I think that you're going to do the same. And we have, again, new moon in Aries. Go for it. This is coming through from divine. It's also coming through from your records. I feel like there's a new thing coming for you that you're going to be pursuing. Go for it. Be willing to go for it as well. Be willing to take that leap of faith. This is coming through from that Fool energy, right? I mean, like the Fool in the tarot. We have new moon in Virgo. Trust all will be well. This is a trust journey, right? Focus on, and again, I feel like it's gonna be. It feels like it's different for everyone, right? But the trust, it's focus on the things that make you trust this path that you're on, right? And less on the things that make you question it. And you're going to make it to the end and realize that it was worth it in the end, right? Sorry, it's such a funny thing. We have trust, all will be well, right? A new moon in Virgo, and first quarter moon in Aquarius, trust the universe. This is the whole point, right? Again, we have new moon in Cancer, relax. Trust the universe. Everything's working out. Everything's fine. Everything's perfect. And all of us who've gone through this journey that we're in, I've gone through it when I was little. I've actually gone through it many times, by the way. Anyway, but my message to you is that you're going to start to see how everything works out for you, no matter what. All right. And no, you're fine. All right. Let me see. Is there anything else for Martha? Martha, let's take a look here. We have transformation coming through. When we focus on the negative, it stalls and stagnates our transformation, and it keeps what we're trying to. It slows everything down, right? Like you're on the path, and you know let's say you're so frustrated, you're walking slowly, or you're wasting all your energy, you feel exhausted. On like stressing, right, and anxiety. My message to you is to not stress. Don't go into that anxiety state or that state of anxiety. Cool your emotions, and you're going to start to feel like you're making a lot of progress, but you're going to make it like that instead of actually, it's like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, let's say you have like this journey that takes a year, right? You can stress yourself out for an entire year before, and then make it to the end, right? And then realize that stress was pointless, right? Or you can make it through trusting all will be well and having faith and making it to the end, and not having put yourself through that, right? I feel like this is kind of that choice that you have right now, right? With that Knight of Pentacles, do things that make you feel good. Do less of things that make you feel bad. And we have the Sun here. Focus on your happiness. And we have Ten of Cups and the Page of Swords. One thing I would say to this is that you're not quite sure about what ultimately makes you happy. There's no clarity here, right? One thing that I would suggest is going out and doing things like creative projects, or like like when you have like a group, like a dance group. I know it sounds crazy, right? I feel like these things are going to help bring more insights into what makes you happy. Do more of try some of those activities, and that's going to help you understand more about self. Okay, and hope that makes sense. All right, thank you, Martha, and take care. Okay. Here. Ooh. The next one is going to be Alysia. Oh, ow. And we're at 41 minutes. Beautiful. Drink some water and ground myself. All right. So let's say I see you need help. I feel like you're dealing with what everyone else who's asked questions are dealing with. Right? I feel like you're healing. I feel like you're in deep and introspective work. This is light worker work. Does that make sense? This is work you do as a light worker. Whether you have honored these parts of yourself, or whether you've been healing people or been serving, right? All of us that come from the light are light workers. This is what it is, I guess, right? You're in knee deep light worker work. Does that make sense? Yeah, I feel like you know it, right? You're in knee deep light worker work, right? Introspective stuff, healing stuff. I feel like you're getting a lot of visions as well. One thing I can feel here is there's lack of trust with your visions right now. A lack of trust with what you're receiving. This is part of the process. I remember when I was real little, you get all these visions. You're like, oh, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and you don't really see that, right? Not, right away. And it's like it takes years sometimes for these things to happen. You realize, oh wait, that was true. I messaged you. I feel like there's something like that happening, right? Anyway, try to trust yourself, trust your visions, and anchor that faith. We have your first card for your need help is last quarter moon in Libra. Make time for self-love. Now that you are stepping into, I want to say your power. You're becoming more emboldened. It's not a time to forget yourself, right? Especially when we start to connect more to source and our soul tribe and our soul family. We're not meant to lose ourselves in that, right? We're not meant to be that all the time, right? We're meant to just access it when we need it. My message to you is I feel, actually, I don't know, I know the last part will resonate with you, but that doesn't correlate with what I'm getting. But make sure that you are making time for self, right? You may be healing, you may have this, you may be forging a new path, a new purpose, right, for self, right? But it's not the point, right? My message to you with that make time for self-love is to make sure that you are always putting yourself first. You can't fill someone's cup when yours is empty, right? You just can't. And a lot of people tend to do that, or tend to try to do that, and they become very negative. I actually think they become inwarded, right? My message to you with that make time for self-love is to make sure that you're giving enough to yourself, right? Enough love to yourself. This feels like more time. This is coming to you from your inner child. It's about making things that make doing things that make you happy. And I know that we hear that a lot, right? It's like no a no-brainer. It makes sense, right? Logically or on paper, but it's difficult to do when we're trying to do it in the physical, right? One thing that's coming from your inner child, it's difficult for you to understand what that would be, or what that would look like, um, or even what path you should take for that. As crazy as it sounds, I feel like even hooking up with someone, it's going to be really helpful for you. I know, I'm just throwing it out there. It is coming to you from your inner child. I feel like you don't really know what making yourself happy or putting yourself first, or what self love for you looks like. And you want to make sure that you have a thorough understanding about what that is, because these things are what fill us up, right? It's not necessarily our connections, right? In my experience, connections drain me, right? I actually need a lot of time to recuperate after I hang out with someone. My message to you is I feel like you need to have a thorough understanding about what things make you happy. One thing that makes me really happy and that really fills me up is listening to music, right? Laying in my bed, listening to music, and really tapping into sound, right? Really tapping into that vibration of music, right? That really fills me up. It's like it's the thing that's it's honestly the cornerstone of my fulfillment, right? Most of my fulfillment comes from listening to music. As crazy as that sounds, right? It's so simple. I understand that. So when I'm feeling drained, when I'm feeling tired, the first thing that pops up in my mind, let's go listen to some music, right? Let me go find a good song, right? My message to you is you need to know what yours looks like, right? And I feel your inner child saying that you don't quite know, right? It's like you're like, maybe it is, right? Oh, my sister does this, let me try it. No, right? That's crazy. Do the things that make you happy. We have first quarter moon in Virgo. Assess the situation. One thing that's coming through for me, music is consistently the one that I like to do that just fills me up. It could be TV as well, right? A really good TV show. Um, I feel like for you, you vary, right? I feel like you may have a lot that you brought into this reality, but I don't think the same thing is going to always work for you, right? So let's say taking a bath is great, right? That's not always going to be the thing that makes you feel great, right? Make sure that when you are trying to practice more of that self-love and put yourself first, you're really asking myself, what's gonna fill me up, right? You're gonna start getting ideas. I actually see food cooking as another one for you. Right? We have last quarter moon in Capricorn. Leave the past behind. Your brother steps forward for this. I feel like you're meant to leave a brother, or you're meant to let go of some family ties, right? Um, yes. Anyway, let's see. Your overall is going to be push through any insecurity. I feel, and this is coming to you from your inner child, your higher self, and I want to say your the light, right? When you are practicing self love, it makes you feel very self conscious, right? That's kind of the point, but it's not a good feeling. Doesn't make sense. It's like you're like let's say you wearing your high school clothes, right? And going out and just like a carnival, or hanging out with boys and just acting really silly makes you feel great. As a random thing like that, right? Like this is the thing that just makes you feel amazing, right? And I feel like you may have something like this, or your inner child may push you for something like this, and makes you feel really self-conscious, right? Like, oh, I'm this old and I'm doing this, or they what are they going to think of me if I start acting this way? Push through those insecurities, you will be pleasantly surprised in the end. I know it's crazy. I know it's so crazy. It's so effing crazy. It's what they're telling me, right? But you're truly meant to push through those things and be yourself, right? As someone who has been doing this type of healing, this type of work, that a lot of us are doing, just that introspective work, right? That healing that we all talk about. As someone who's been doing it for so long, like you just can't. Like I remember when I first started doing like really intense, like deep traumatic healing, I would like scream and like kick, and like it will literally look like to anyone I'm throwing a tantrum or I'm going crazy. That was how I was releasing, right? I didn't let that feeling of like, what if someone saw me like this, or what if I see me like this, and stop me from that healing. I pushed through those things, right? I learned to cry, right? Actually, it's a really good one, by the way. That's what's coming to you from humanity, right? You know, people don't even want to cry because they feel so insecure about this. Push through those insecurities. That is an act of self-love, right? I feel like there's stuff like that that you feel like called to do that you don't do, because you feel very self-conscious. You're meant to feel self-conscious. That's actually the point, and you're also meant to push through that. And that's something that I know is crazy. I hope it makes sense, but it's important that you know, all this is tied together, right? Sorry, I didn't know. Alysia. I didn't know, but it's important. I feel like if this is about you learning to express yourself, no matter who's around you, right? And our expression comes in many shapes, forms, and sizes for many types of situations, right? We're not meant to like, oh, I'm. I remember when I was you know, like you're on family, and it's like I feel the urge to cry. You may want to suppress that. That's you suppressing your divinity. Right? That's you suppressing your own expression. That's you telling yourself no, right? You're wrong, right? And this is not something that we want to tell ourselves, right? And message to you, you got to push through those things. And one thing that's coming through from, I want to say your brother, but the light is know you are loved, right? Know that you're loved every step of the way, even if it doesn't feel that way, right? We have the new moon in Libra. Libra's all about balance. Um, there is a like you know that golden ratio or that balance that we can tap into, but remind yourself every time you feel like, oh, I shouldn't do this or I shouldn't act this way. Know you're loved. And when you know that you're loved, no matter what, right? We don't tend to hold ourselves back too much, right? And open up to change. This is for your solar plexus, your it's not open. So I would actually talk to your ego, and ask your ego to allow you to change in the ways that you need to change. And these changes may not be permanent, right? The way that it's coming through from, I want to say divine, but is that we tend to morph into things that we need to become to heal something, right? For our lineage, for our line, for ourselves. And then we change back, right? My message is to allow that process to happen, right? If you have to like become, as crazy as it sounds, I know it's a crazy one, like let's say a little dark, right? Or maybe a little negative to heal something that you have to heal, right? Then do it, right? Life will bring you that. You know, when life brings you lemon, make lemonade, right? Or lemons make lemonade. I know it's crazy to say, but this is coming. I want to say it's coming to your ego. Your ego's like, oh, this is, I need to be this, or I need to do that, or I need to um, act this way, right? My message to you with that new moon in Aquarius is be open to change, right? And be open to like morphing yourself. And again, morphing is the word. To the person you need to be to heal the things that you need to heal. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it like that. And we have new moon in Leo. I see this new cycle for you after you've done this healing, where you're shining brighter than you were before. Very sunlit as well. One thing that's coming through, and I feel like it's coming through from your records, you may not feel like you shine as bright as other people, or you may not think you're as bright as you actually are. You are extremely bright. And I do mean that in like a literal, figurative, and I don't know, whatever other sense, whatever other ways you are taking it. But you are extremely bright, and you're meant to shine. Okay. I hope that was helpful for you. Um. Hi everyone. Thank you, Martha. Anyone else wants to book, please book. If not, it's totally okay. I will be live like a little bit more. I see angels, answers, guides. Help me ground myself. Help me ground these energies. Thank you. Help me ground these understandings as well. Hi everyone. I guess that would be it. I don't see any more bookings. Any more questions? If you are, I don't mind taking a free question as well. And you can book on any day for the live stream readings or any other bookings if you are interested in that. I don't know. That feels good. Oh. Huh. Hmm. Okay, let's take a look here. I don't mind answering your question. Kim. Let's take a look. For Kim. For Kim. Let's see, why are Kim's followers dropping? See, we have a new moon in Aries. One thing I can feel, this is coming from your records, is you're not quite pushing yourself as much as you either want to or you feel like you should. All right. 7 minutes for Kim. Okay. And what I mean by that is I feel like there's a lot of resistance to maybe some healing. What your records are saying is that you're not going deep enough within self, right? I was just actually thinking about that right before you popped through. I was like, God, I went so deep this time, right? I remember when I did my ayahuasca, I told myself again and again and again, there's no such thing as too deep. My message to you, I feel like you're not going deep enough within self, and it's kind of known, right? People can kind of see that. I feel like as well that people are shining a little bit brighter than you right now because of this, right? You know, as we're moving into more light, and this is coming through from the records. We're meant to embody more light, right? We're truly meant to be light, right? We're truly meant to shine brighter and to be higher vibrational. My message to you is that you feel like you're not, because you're not willing to go deep enough into self, because you're not willing to go deep enough into your healing journey, or even take it seriously, right? And it's interesting. This is actually a defense mechanism, right, or a coping mechanism that you do. You know, it's kind of like someone tells you, "Oh, I see some of this," or no, sorry. You know, let's say like it becomes clear that you have some kind of negative like tendency or pattern, and you think to yourself, "Oh, I do this, right? Or I have this, or people can see this about me, right?" But you don't really tend to it, right? You don't really face it head on. You don't really push through it. There's a part of you that's not quite willing to go deep enough into your healing journey, and it's keeping you from it's keeping you right from healing as deeply and as cleanly as you're meant to. All right. With this attuned to the divine, I brought this up earlier. If you're having trouble healing something or facing something, give it to divine. Right? Divine will take care of things, right? Divine will take care of it. That's actually what divine's saying. But attuning to the divine is a reminder that we are so much bigger than we are and just in, right? One thing that we tend to struggle with is we tend to think, well, so, I don't know. Oh, I can feel it for you. You want to say that maybe you're worried about how people would judge you, when it's like this is just one life, right? It's just one life out of hundreds or thousands of lifetimes that you lived, right? I've lived over 200,000 lifetimes, or something like that. Anyway, I'm like old, but I always, when you have that perspective where it's like this is just one lifetime out of 100,000 lifetimes, right? You stop really caring, right? My message to you is I feel like you need to do something like this. This is the whole point of tuning into divine. Divine is huge. It's massive. It's sorry, she's saying divine is infinite, right? Um, and when we tap into that hugeness of things, or that massiveness, right, of divine, we stop thinking our little problems are that grand, right? I feel like you have some kind of like perspective that makes you feel that maybe facing some of these darker parts of yourself, or these parts of yourself that you wish you didn't have, or you wish weren't you, it makes you feel like those things are bigger than they are. These are small little things that they're not worth holding you back, right? They're not worth keeping you stuck. They're not worth the struggle, right? And with that attuned to the divine, when we tap into all that is, right, we remember that the problems that we face in our reality are nothing, right? Are too small to care for, right? Are too small to matter. And this is the point of tapping into divine, okay? So why your viewers are dropping is you're not doing deep enough healing work, all right? With this trust, all will be well, new moon in Virgo. There's not a lot of trust here. One thing that comes through is, sometimes we feel like, oh, like, I feel like my family is cursed or something like that. These things don't really play that big of a role on us because we're so big, all right? With this breathe through the tension, I know that facing some of these ickier parts of ourselves may feel like we may get anxiety, we may feel very anxious about, we may feel our we may at times even feel like they're too much. Sorry, I had I got a vision. Anyway, you may feel like they're even too much. I messaged you with that full moon in Scorpio. You're meant to go all the way, right? And I hope that makes sense to you. And I feel like on some level, I feel like your ego heard it. I feel like your ego heard it, right? You're meant to go all the way. Stop like half seeing it, right? There's nothing here, right? There's no point to it as well. With that, reflect on your priorities. Remind yourself why you're doing the healing you're doing, why you're facing these things. You're facing these things so you can be a better person, right? So that you can be higher vibrational, so that you can be a great source of wealth, right? And information and abundance and prosperity. This is why you're healing, right? The whole reason why I started doing my healing work was to better my life, to better myself. Remind yourself that that's the point, right? My message to you is why it's a healing that you're struggling with. Keep your heart open. First quarter moon in Libra. And it's not just to others, it's to self, right? Move into compassion whenever you feel like you're being judged or judging yourself, right? Move yourself into compassion, and you're going to feel better to express yourself and to be more honest with who you are and who you're becoming and what you need to move through to become that person that you want to be. All right. Sorry, it did work. Anyway. Okay. Um. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else for Kim on why Kim's viewers or subscribers are dropping? Don't pay attention to that. Is a key one here as well. One thing again that's coming through from your records, you're settling in some way, and your lights, your energy, it won't allow you to settle, right? So I feel like whatever you're doing or however you're going about it, it's too small for you, right? And you're not going to have the success that you want on the path with how you're trying to go about it, right? You need to go about it in a different way, in a way that makes more sense, in a way that feels more supported. With the first quarter moon in Aries, step into your power. This is the point. I feel like you're settling in some way. You're not stepping into your full power, your full grace, your full mighty. Like, see how, sorry, it's funny. Your record is saying you've not stepped into your full mighty. Right? I actually want to write that down for you. I know it sounds crazy. You step into your full mighty. Sorry, mighty with anyway. And with this new moon in Leo shine, right? Your full power is meant to shine brighter. It's meant to be brighter. It's meant to stand out. And because of the healing that you're refusing to do, or because of the things about yourself that you're refusing to address, it's not able to, right? With the new moon in Leo, my message to you is to make a commitment to yourself that you won't allow anything, even self, right, to stop you from the abundance that you seek, from the life that you deserve. And this is key here. I'm being reminded about when I told you that I thought you should move to Chicago. That may be something that you may want to consider again, right? We have new moon in Scorpio. Go deeper. This is your whole message, right? You're just not going deep enough within self, right? You have to go deeper. You have to go all the way. This happened to me, I think, when I was really little. I remember when I was in grammar school and I was trying to dive deep into the pool, right? Because something I had dropped down at the very bottom of the pool, right? But the pool was like 12 feet deep and I'm like this little tiny baby. And I remember having to hold my breath to go all the way down. And I was so scared because what if I drowned, right? Or what if the water swallowed me up? Or what if there was so much pressure I couldn't hold my breath, right? I remember I had to dive deep multiple times into that pool before I finally got the thing at the bottom that I was trying to get. My message to you, I feel like there's some kind of healing at the base of your pool, right? At the base of your emotions, at the base of your emotional body, that you've not dived deep enough to get, right? You've not done it. My message to you with that go deeper, you must, right? Why you're not getting the subscribers you want, why you're not getting the recognition that you deserve, you haven't done this, right? Your mom steps forward as someone who will help you with this, right? You can call on her energy and she can help you. But again, there's a message about you going all the way. I remember that moment, so long ago. Sorry, I have a lot of memories popping up. But I remember going all the way down to that ocean, and not ocean, but that lake, and I got that damn thing, whatever it was. I forgot what it was, but I remember it took multiple tries for me to reach. Push through any insecurities. Again, this is kind of the same message, but I hope that made sense. But again, it's not about whether you're healing, it's are you healing deep enough? Are you going all the way? This is the kind of thing that you want to tell self, right? No such thing as too deep, okay? Oh, man. Okay, I guess that was it. I'm going to end the readings here. Anyway, I want to thank everyone that booked with me. Do take care, and bye, everyone.